Welcome to the Well Actually podcast. Thank you for joining me. I want to say a big thank you to everyone who has listened, shared, and subscribed to the podcast on various platforms. I really appreciate that. And a big thank you to everyone who has sent in feedback in one way or another. It goes a long way in shaping how the podcast evolves going forward. And I also wanted to get something real quick. In the last episode, I made mention of how bloggers and disseminators of information need to have the number one focus be accuracy on whatever they say and whatever they put out. So in that spirit, I wanted to correct a few things that were said in the last episode. One being, while I was talking about Mariah Carey, I mentioned that one of her songs, We Belong Together, came out in 2008 and was subsequently named the Song of the Decade. That song actually came out in 2005, so thanks, Vera, for pointing that out to me. Also, with regards to the man who ran people over with the Charlottesville protest, he was in fact charged with federal hate crimes, and that news broke like literally an hour after the podcast ended. So in the spirit of transparency, I also wanted to call myself out on that and to make sure I do a better job of bringing you this information during the podcast. All right, so for this episode, first thing I want to talk about is something I just started, which was a 30-day challenge, which essentially is to go to the gym every day for the month of April. And before you like FitFam or gym gurus chime in and say, oh, you're supposed to have days with recovery and all that, I understand that. But this is more about the consistency and the renewed commitment to go every day to the gym and work out. So it's something I've done a couple times in the past, but that was when I was in much, much better shape. And it's something that I've mentioned to a couple friends who decided to join in as well. And it's not necessarily about like posting your pictures anywhere. You can if you choose to, because I've noticed that sort of encourages other people to do it. But in this instance, not just encouragement, but I realized that I respond to shame very well. So I'm basically trying to shame myself into getting into shape. Because previously, when I was working out pretty regularly, I focused on my arms and chest or whatever because those were the parts that were seen very well. And I guess after not working out for a couple months, it made me even start believing what other people were seeing. That, oh, I'm still in pretty good shape. It turns out the shape I was in was pretty much a circle. So yeah, the aim is to get healthier, not necessarily a target weight. Because when you have like a target weight, not hitting that target makes everything you've done feel like a failure, and that is not what this is intended for. It's intended to improve your quality of life, to make things that you do feel a lot easier, like walking up the stairs without feeling like you're having an asthma attack, or other physical activities that you might like to partake in more than once without needing a long break. But yeah, it's just something where I feel like amongst Nigerians or Black people as a whole, we need to take better care of ourselves. And a big part of that is regular physical activity. So in this instance, 30 days, you can join if you feel like it. And we're not saying you should go sleep in the gym or anything. 45 minutes of intense workout, a lot of cardio, some lightweight training where you're focusing on the reps and the quality of the rep, making sure that you're getting a full range of motion, not necessarily anything heavy. And then you can track your progress along the way, obviously, but don't measure your weight or whatever every single day. It messes with your mind a bit. But yeah, hopefully at the end of the month we can all get to see what the results are, and hopefully it works out well.